Well, yeah, hello, I'm Adrian, I'm a storyteller, and Liz has invited me over to their part with our musicians here to tell you the story of Hansel and Gretel. Why Liz makes some of the characters and creatures and things out of the story for us, and then we all get to have a go and join in making our own things. That sound alright? So I'm Adrian. And then I think everybody else who's involved can say hello to you and say who they are as well. Start over there.
I'm the gingerbread lady who lives in Hansel. We make lots of things from gingerbread. And you're going to make lots of things from gingerbread. You're going to make a house. Okay? So I'll pass you on to the musicians over there.
Hiya, my name's Jeff, and I'll be playing percussion to the story. I'm looking forward to it.
Oh, and I'm Steve, and I'll be making lots of noise on this guitar thing while Adrian's trying to tell his story.
Jackie over there.
Hi, Jackie, I'll be here to help you if you need it.
And Barbara. And Margaret's going to help as well. And there you go, over there. And back to you, Adrian.
Grimm, the brothers Grimm, the gatherers of fairy tales. They travelled over to Cassel in France, and that's where they met a beautiful young lady, a lady called Dodge, and Wilhelm Grimm got on very well with her. And then he found out she was a wonderful storyteller, so he sat down with her and listened to her story. All the time he was listening, his heart fluttering was beating slowly down. And Dodge and Wild told him the story of a faraway wood where a beautiful witch who was very, very good, very, very nice, and very, very helpful, looked out for everybody there. She flew around the land looking down and making sure everybody was happy and good and kind. But after a while, another witch came to the end, and she looked down from a huge mountain top down into that pit, looking at all the little cottages, smoke rising from the chimneys. And she wanted to hold control of it. So she mixed up a magic bowl and put it in the drink of the good witch and changed her forever. And off the good witch flew sadly away. Now the whole area was hers, and she could be in charge of that she could. The poor woodcutter, chopping away at his wood, at the side of his cottage, happy and jolly he was. His 2 children, just the 3 of them together they were, and they were very happy, jolly, and all got on really well. But sometimes he was a little lonely, and he wished he had a wife whose hand he holds they wandered along the woodland paths. And he could sit and think of this while he sipped a cup of tea. out of tea. He was sure he'd put enough in the tin. He bought enough last time he'd gone off to the village, but he had all gone. And there was a knock at the door. He opened the door. And there stood a lady.
Hello. I'm traveling around selling tea. It's very special tea it is. And I wondered if you needed it.
Well, I do. I just ran out, so I wouldn't mind. So yes, please. And he bought it. It was very cheap. Come in and have a cup of tea with me, he said. And he mixed up tea into the teapot. Poured some. It was very special tea.
But it was the sort of poison that changes a person, takes all the niceness out of them. He was turning into someone just as selfish as her. I'd quite like to settle down in this cottage, she said, and he said, well, it would be handy to have some new made tea as good as this, I suppose. It could move in, maybe, yes. So she did. She settled straight in. But she didn't like the look of those two children. She kept telling him so. And every day drink his tea and wake up in the morning. He said, I think we've got enough food for us all, I'm sure. Okay, I'll keep chopping the wood and selling the chopped wood. I think we'll be all right. Drinking the tea and thinking might change his mind. And maybe there wasn't enough to go around and he did maybe need it all for himself and his new lovely wife. Yes, I think that's the case.
And I do need some money for my pretty jewellery, don't I, she explained.
Well, I suppose you do, yes.
So we can't spare too much.
Yes, that's right.
And day after day she talked to him.
So he agreed. What a good idea, he said. The children could go and live somewhere else. How about that? I said, yes, what a good idea, she said. Fancy you thinking of that? Yes, he said. I think that's a very good idea. We'll have to think about where they can go.
So that night, Hansel and Gretel lay in bed and went off to sleep. I think some sort of fluttering tap on the window. Oh ho! Fast asleep they were, all snuggled up in their beds, and there was a tap, tap, tap at the window.
Where was that? Fluttering about was a ladybird.
So they opened the window and in it flew. Settled on Gretel's shoulder.
Hello.
I would like to be your friend. I've come to visit you because I think you're lovely children. And I would like to help. Well, you're only a ladybird, you can't do very well. No, but if you need me, I'll come along and try and encourage you and cheer you up, give you a kind word now and then. Well, what do we have to do? Well, if you just call for me, or maybe sprinkle some breadcrumbs for me, I'll come flying along and see if I do that. The ladybird is just about to fly out again when she turns around. Stay awake a little longer and have a listen carefully, she said. And the ladybird flew away back to the wonderful creator, and that was.
The children Ladybird listened to.
And they heard a terrifying conversation.
I know what we'll do. In the morning, we'll get rid of them.
Well, how are we going to get rid of them?
What we'll do is, we'll lead them away into the wood and we'll tell them we're going somewhere lovely. And we're just going to chop a bit of wood and then we'll bring them back home again. How about that?
Well, then what will we do?
We'll leave them there forever.
Well, won't they get hungry?
We'll give them a piece of bread. That'll do enough. Yes, we'll give them a piece of bread and we'll leave them in the wood.
Okay, then, yes, it sounds like a good idea. We'll do that in the morning.
So Hansel crept down the stairs, out into the garden, and he gathered up some of the white pebbles from the tree and dipped them in his pocket, and then snuck back up to bed, intending to go to sleep. And sure enough, the bedroom door slowly opened. And then we're taking you for a little walk, yeah. Come along with us, it'll be very nice.
Yes, I've got some wood to cut, and deep in the wood, so come with us.
And off they went into the wood. And all the time they walked, Hansel was reaching into his pocket, dropping a pebble here and there, a little white pebble. He looked back to make sure he could see the trail of pebbles leading home. What are you doing? What are you looking at? Oh, I'm just looking at our white cat on the roof of the house. It's waving goodbye to me. No, it's not. That's just the moon going to sleep. That's all it is. Oh, right, okay. Carry on. Until he got deep into the forest. And there they built a great big crackling bonfire. The sky became dark. The stars twinkled out, and the sounds of the forest gathered all around. You'll be all right here while I chop wood. And they sat by the fire. Do you think we should eat the bread yet? No, not yet. No, because he'll be back soon. I'm sure he will. Because he always used to be very nice. And there beside them, huddled around the fire, listening to the wood chopper chopping wood deep in the forest. He's still there, still chopping. He must still be there. But that woman had come into their lives and hung a branch on a rope next to a tree, and whenever the wind blew, it struck against the tree. But gone home and left Hansel and Gretel all alone. I'm very hungry, and it's quite dark here, isn't it? It is, yes. But look at that light in the sky grinning at us. Hanging from the pumpkin. I think it's a terrifying monster. It doesn't look very nice at all. It's grimacing at us, and it's coming nearer and nearer. No, it's just a pumpkin lantern hanging in the tree. That's all it is. That's all right. You can go and get that and keep it with us to keep us safe. Put it down, thinking Adrian can eat that later on. And they ate bread. Tried to sleep. And nobody came. So the next morning, they said, we've been abandoned. We're stuck in the wood and it's terrible here, isn't it? It's awful. We'll never get home. Yes, we can get home. Don't you remember? Of course, the pebbles. I put the pebbles, we could follow them home. So they jumped up. And they ran following the pebbles all the way home until they came to the stream and the boat had been taken away. What are we going to do? Oh, we need some help. I don't know what we could do. You said if we needed help, we could call for it. Oh, yes. Why don't we call for the lovely lady?
help to fly you across the stream. I've a friend with a magical bat, and he will fly you all the way across the river. So along he came, very impressively fluttering. He did that in a nice way. Did you see? He wasn't a frightening bat at all then, was he? He did that in a very friendly, gentle way. Thank you very much. And he jumped onto his back. Flew across the river. And then he followed the pebbles all the way home.
Oh, so glad you found us. How nice. What a surprise. We lost you in the woods, you know. It's very late. Here's another little piece of bread. Go off with it.
That night,
Tap, tap, tap.
stay awake, they're going to do the same again. So they stayed awake and they listened.
What we'll do is, we'll get them off in the wood again.
But what about the pebbles?
Well, we'll keep the door locked until it's time to go, and then they won't get any pebbles.
What a good idea. So the next morning, bedroom door, swoop.
There she was, come with me, come along with me.
And she took them off through the dark creepy woods as far as they could go, even further than before. And Gretel dropped crumbs of the piece of bread they had all along the way, because Hansel didn't have any white pebbles anymore. And they gathered by the fire with the light of a pumpkin, listening to the wood chopping away against the trees.
It will be all right, because we're very hungry, but we have left a trail of crumbs, so we'll be okay.
And the next morning, the sun came, and they looked around, and there was a path out of the wood.
And they thought that's the way to go. We'll follow it. And they went along, and the path disappeared. They said, never mind, we'll look for the crumbs.
And as they looked, there was a crumb in front of them, and a bird swooped down, knocked the pumpkin right out of their hands, picked up the crumb and ate it. And as they ran along looking for crumb after crumb, the birds were eating them one after another, until they'd run deeper and deeper into the forest. And there they were, terribly lost. Wandering for days they were, trying to sleep, waking again and wandering on. 3 days they wandered and wandered, getting very, very hungry. Deep into the dark of the night they went, and they started to hear terrible sounds.
Oh no! There's some gingerbread ghosts appeared, skillfully made. Oh goodness me! We'd better run!
They ran, and they ran, and they ran, and they ran. And then they came out into a clearing. And there ahead of them, beautiful little woods. A bit came up. Beautiful cottage.
Ooh, look at that! Look, marvelous! A wonderful place to live. It's all lovely, sort of orangey brown colour, and it's got a shiny roof, and it looks really nice. And as they got closer and closer,
It got better and
better. The whole house
was made. And by the way, I've just had a little nibble, and it's very nice gingerbread.
very, so they had a nibble of it. Oh, that's gorgeous. And the windows were made of sugar, they ate some of the windows as well. And then they pulled down a bit of the roof, Who's that out there eating my roof?
It's what we said. Say it's the wind, maybe. Oh, it's just the wind blowing through the trees, that's all. It's just the wind blowing through the trees.
There's nobody out there eating my house. No, not at all. No, so they ate. And they ate a bit more of the window. And there she was, looking out of the window. She looks terrible.
But somehow, like they've maybe seen someone a bit like her before. Up through the window she peeks.
Hello, what do you think? Oh, the nice. Hello, why don't you come in? I've got a lovely house and more to eat inside. You know, I'm really...
You don't look very nice to me. Doesn't seem to me like that.
Oh, yeah, I am. I really am very nice. I'll open the door and in you can come.
And there was all sorts of things made of sweets and treats and gingerbread inside the house. So in they went, and they ate till they'd eaten the fill. And night came down again, and they became very tired. And they went off. Hansel, yes, Gretel, isn't it wonderful that we've found somebody who loves us and will look after us? Yes, this is a marvellous place to be, isn't it? Good night. Good night. She crept into the room, and she caused the bed to rise and float with a sleeping Hansel on the bed, and he drifted and floated out and down and out of the door, following the winch along until they got to the barn, and there she put him behind the great door of the cage and slammed it shut. Why am I down here? I'm still in a comfy bed, but I'm not in the same room at all. What's going on?
You just stay there, you're all right. I'll bring you plenty to eat. And Gretel came running out of the house and she said, where's my brother? Oh, he's just in there, he'll be fine. He's got a comfy bed and I'll give him plenty to eat. As long as you do lots of work for me. If you do all the work and work very, very hard, then he'll get fed and he'll be kept safe. And every day, Gretel worked and worked and worked, and Hansel sat and ate. Gretel started to think to herself, I think there's a reason that she's feeding him up so much. And the witch went to him and she followed him. She said, let me have a look at you. I'm wondering if you're fat enough to eat yet. And Gretel threw him a bone. He caught the bone and he stuck the bone out of the cage. And the witch didn't see so well, but she reached and she fell. No, he's still thin. Still thin he is. So Gretel kept working and the witch kept feeding him and he was getting bigger and bigger, but she didn't notice it. Sticking out the bone. And then she realized this was a trick. He'd been eating loads of things. He must have got ready to eat by now. I think it's a trick, so she pulled the bone out. Yes, it was a trick. He's ready to eat. I'll get the oven on. And she pulled on the oven. Got it nice and hot. Gretel, come to me. I'd like you to test the oven and see if you think it's hot enough for us. And Gretel thought,
I think this is a bit of a trick. I think that she is going to get me in there first, then she'll eat both of us. I don't want that. What on earth can I do?
so Gretel went to the oven, she opened the door. Gretel thinking, well, I'll have to go in. I just have to do it. She's telling me I have to go. So I suppose I can't think of anything else to do. She went near to the door. The door swung open. And as she got there, she was just about to step into the coat. No, and she said, I don't think there's room. I think it's already full up. You must have put some bread in here earlier, I think. Oh, I don't think I did. She said, you did, you have a look, you have a look. So the witch bent down to look in the oven, and Gretel got behind her and pushed and slammed the oven door shut. And she ran and she got her brother out, rescued him, and they ran all the way through the wood, running away they did, hoping to get home, trying to get home. And they searched and they searched, and they came to a river. What are we going to do? And along came the lady, fluttering down. And she said, I'll fly you all the way. She flew them all the way back home. And there was the teapot, and there was their father. But there was no more evil witch at all. I think she's the same one that's in here. And he sat and he drank his tea, and Hansel and Gretel grabbed the teapot and smashed it. But I was going to let him have the teapot. There would be a little bit of blood in the story, right? I'm sorry about that, but it's very nice. And the ladybird came through the window and changed into the beautiful witch from the beginning of the story. And her daddy looked at her and smiled. He was nice again. And he fell in love with her. And he gathered the children around him. And the witch turned their house into a beautiful gingerbread house. And the nasty witch's treasure chest was there. They found lots of treasures. And they never were hungry again. Shall we try up? Lived together very, very happily in the house that was made of wonderful things to eat. No, it's a magical one because it was really the good witch. The bad witch had changed the shape at the beginning, remember? So we now used its magic and the goodness brought it back. And all the way over in France, Dodge and Wild told that story to Willem Grimm, and he fell in love with her and put that story in a fairy tale book for us to tell. And they lived together happily ever after as well.
You guys can get loads of nose tails. And look which ones are done by the corners.
I think we ought to give Liz and our musicians a round of applause. They were so well.